Welcome to your energy update on the full moon in Pisces lunar eclipse. We're now kicking off this this eclipse season now for the month of September, and we have much energy which is going to be bringing us through to that finish line. In fact, we're pretty much on the finish line. September is going to bring you so much magic, you know, if you have indeed slowed down and you've done your shadow work and you've moved through the scary bits and the sticky parts. As long as you've done that, then of course September is going to be, it's always going to be a little bit bumpy, but it's going to bring you your rewards. Everything that you've worked towards in this life and lifetimes is now about to show itself to you if it hasn't started to do so already. I will be doing another energy update tomorrow, which is kind of like gives you more of a general feeling, because there's lots of other things I want to talk about there. But I wanted to give this full moon its own stage, its own space, because there's a lot of magic and medicine in this, right? So just talking about this lunar eclipse, okay, this is the lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are kind of all about massive endings. Like, it really is about closure, right? Especially as Pisces is the final zodiac. It's in the whole run of them, right? So that massive energy of completion. I've been talking a lot about the number 9s. September is a number 9, right? Like now Pisces is bringing us this lunar eclipse. Lunar is to do with endings, right? So you're going to feel like sudden, like not doing that anymore, and go with it, be okay with it, right? But the 9 is completion. We're in a 9 year, and I'm all about the 9s, man. 9s and 7s actually. So this to me is a beautiful day because it's the 7th of September and it's coupled with the 9. So both of them actually sing, and I say sing, not scream. They sing completion energy. So this is a very, very powerful full moon for many reasons, right? So now I have a whole list here. So let's get into it, as they say, right? So we've spoken about completion, right? Completion is going to be, it's going to be a little bit like, makes you feel a bit vulnerable because everything's closing down around you. It's a bit like getting to the shops with 5 minutes before closing time. You're like, shutters down, but I need to get this, that, and the other. You panic. You don't need to get anything. You're done. The shops are good. You've got everything you need. You need to leave this street now and graduate to another suburb, another place. You know what I mean? It's done. It's finished. So, but when these sudden endings come with these powerful energies, and that's what sometimes it can be like, sudden endings takes your breath away. Ending of relationships, ending of jobs, ending of like, I don't want to live in this house anymore, ending of I don't want to live in this country anymore. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And I've shared in previous videos that I've been through a lot of trauma. In fact, I was actually vibrating when I've just been on my tablets of light group in Avalon, and it was so magical and expansive and amazing. And I know when I do these groups, we do work significantly into future time. What we anchor there will show itself probably in about 6 months or so. So you always, when you do these groups and you work with this magic, you are working in other timelines other than one you're in. It's a lot slower down here. So of course we were very expansive, like planting the seeds, watering the earth and like watching it all grow, and then to come out of that and come straight into that Virgo black moon, which kind of like brought a massive contraction, and then that plunged many of us. Actually, it doesn't matter whether you were walking with me in Avalon or not, we felt the same thing, and many of us through Lion's Gate were like, wow, this is amazing. And then we come into this absolute deep dive. It is not a dark night of the soul. I've said it before. It is not. It is mass exponential change happening on all levels, from within, without, as above, so below, everywhere, all at the same time. That analogy of all the shops shutting at the same time, they didn't do it staggered. It was like, boom, done, finished. And it can take your breath away a little bit. And after channeling with Sekhmet spoke, and she said, listen, the challenge is in the change. This is not a dark night of the soul. The challenge is in the change. Everything that you've asked for is being granted. So we're in a process right now where everything's being delivered to you. You know what I mean? The food's coming out the kitchen, man. I hope you're hungry, you know? So it's like, that's what's happening. And I got it very twisted where I was like, oh my God, why do I feel so shit? And it was just that everything is changing at a rate of knots. We are creatures of habit. We do have human aspect, which is basically what it's all about now. Can you bring that level of mastery and wisdom from the starseed higher self and so on and so forth, and bring it into physical form? Because I've been using this word ever such a lot. Embodiment. It's about embodying now. Embodying is not grounding. Embodying is slightly different. It's about coming into the body now, living by everything that you know, that you've gone through hectic experiences, you've lived by the lessons, you've made changes in your life, and you've gone through it again and again. You never gave up. Now you're living by the application of that experience. It now becomes wisdom, and you know a lot. It's no, look, that's an embodiment process in itself. So now we're being called to come into the world, which is quite hectic and hard because there's so much chaos going on. You know, a lot of chaos going on, especially here in London, but it's happening all over the world, that there is a massive shadow of the divine masculine and shady religions and things like that coming in, which is kind of like making everybody quite fearful. But I'm going to bring Set into the circle now. This is all about Nephthys as well, because remember, the month of September, if you go back to, well, remember, I keep saying remember, September, remember, all soul parts in, wholeness. Nephthys is walking us through this current timeline, by the way, like big time. And she is really encouraging us to be still, to actually trust and go through the death that we need to. And the only way through that is grief. I'm going to be talking a lot about that on my next energy update. But for now, let's just bring Nephthys into the space. She is a mother of the underworld, and she is taking us to those places so we can grieve, we can mourn everything that's come to pass, because the old version of you is dead. Thank you for this full moon, because it's bringing an element of completion. We're just tying up all the loose ends. And now Set comes in. Okay, Set or Seth, her husband, right? Also her brother, but her husband. He is the god of chaos. And I was sat here doing these videos, picked up my pen, and all of a sudden diverted from videos and just started scribbling furiously. And I brought through a channel from Set, which I've never done before. And he is the trickster. He is the one that is about the barren, arid desert. It's about death. It's about, you know, this is done. And he was saying, if you... he challenges us to master his madness, because he's like, yeah, I can be the trickster, and I will show you the shadow in you, I will show you the shadow in others, and I will shapeshift, and I will do all sorts of things, because he does come. I mean, he was known as the god, like, you know, that caused all that violence and disruption and conflict and all the rest of it. But without that kind of energy, then we don't have traction with all the light that we're bringing in, right? So it needs to be there to a point, but, you know, it's like that's the world all over right now. So hold the line. Don't worry about what's going on there. Just look at it as energy. It's just a different energy to the highest vibration. Chaos energy is like that. Light vibration is something else. And just understand that the two need to go together so we can move forward. And you are a warrior and a warrioress, and you're standing in your power in this month of September, sovereign, really claiming the last drops of codes that are being given to you and igniting, you know, your final level of mastery and sovereignty and power and in authority, because you've earned it. So don't fear the chaos. Don't fear all the conflict, because at the end of the day, it gives you more of a chance, an opportunity to master calmness. Because without the chaos, you wouldn't be able to do that. So embrace it, love it. Thank you, Set, for bringing that in, right? So now, as I said, 9th month, 9-year. Okay, we're in a 9-year completion. Pisces is the last zodiac of the whole zodiac vibe, right? Whatever you want to call it. And we are now in your final stages. So this is the endings. This is the endings energy. When we get to the end of the month and we get to the solar eclipse, okay, in a new moon in Virgo, I believe, I'm telling you now, that's going to be all about the beginning. So you're sandwiched between the death and the rebirth. Now, Nephthys, beautiful Nephthys, has the most powerful magic that brings about, brings on, ignites, activates, whatever you want to call it, conjures resurrection. Okay? So let's die, let's just do it, and let's resurrect, and we can do that in the space of beginning, end of September. I mean, what's not to love, right? So now next one, hidden wisdom, and the dark realms of the soul, right? So this is what this moon is also bringing up for us as well. Pisces is very like water energy, very emotional, isn't it? Very emotional. Pisces and Aquarius, kind of like we're very watery like that. I'm an Aquarius and I'm very emotional, and I think I have a lot of Pisces in my chart. Or is it Cancer? I don't know. I'm just very emotional. And I feel everything, like everything, right? So now with this energy of Pisces, you know, it invites us to dive deeply into those deep, deep, dark waters. Hecate is also a mother of the earth, the stars, the sea. You know, she's a goddess of the deep, 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 dark realms. All dark mothers are, right? But like we're talking about water here, so I just thought it'd be quite cool to bring Hecate in there. So now Hecate takes us to the depths of the sea to go and find ourselves. The last place we want to be is down there, but it's the very place that you're going to find yourself. And now Nephthys knows this. She knows that for us to walk through our grief and mourn what we have to mourn, let's not divert or turn around or distract from the energy and the feelings that we need to feel about giving ourselves time and space to let ourselves die and mourn the old person. We don't want it back. We know that, but we must honor the process, right? Because let me tell you, it's a big process and it's a time for celebration, even though it's a time for stillness right now, you know? So Nephthys walks us through the grief and the mourning. She holds the powerful magic for resurrection, just spoke about that, and we have to walk through our grief to complete it. If you want to complete this mission and journey, I suggest you sit there, you down tools, and you feel what you have to feel. You go there, don't chase it away, don't overanalyze it, don't think it away or think it into a better way to actually feel, just feel it. Fucking feel it to the depths of it. And just, if you've got to lie on your bloody bed in your bra and pants, or just your pants, it depends how you roll, like, just feel it, you know, because that's the only way that we are going to be able to move into the next cycle. Avoid it, and you're just going to have to come back to it again. Quick story as I actually share that with you. Okay, I've lost all track of time. It was some time ago before I did my group in Avalon. I go there often for my own 9-day, always 9 days, 9-day pilgrimage, right? On my own. And I remember going there, and I remember being plunged into a death immediately as soon as I got there. And I wanted to go. I wasn't holding a group. Nobody was with me. I could have left at any time. And a good friend of mine who did some body work on me said, listen, you can go. Nothing's stopping you, but you know you have to come back and complete. And that was the mother speaking through her. That was the goddess. That was the ancient lands of Avalon saying, my darling, if you want to go and hold the groups, hold the power, be the leader that you are and will be and want to be, then you have to feel this and step through to gain your sovereignty, to gain your inner authority, and to actually earn your stripes. You have to feel what you absolutely don't want to feel. And I did it. And I had 9 days of absolute purgatory. It felt like I was in a snow globe and I couldn't leave Avalon. I had a car. I'm from England. I didn't have a problem. I could have gone to my sister's. No, I stayed there. I stayed there and I completed, actually. And you know what happened is my sister actually came to me on the last 2 days. So in a way, you know, the support came to me, right? So now, talking of sisters, right, we're going to go into the next layer of this full moon. Forgiveness, because let's face it, for us to let shit go, we have to forgive. We have to forgive others and we have to forgive ourselves, right? Or whichever order you want to go in. Now, something that is very powerful that always pricks my ears up is Isis and Nephthys. The sisterhood, the forgiveness, the love, no matter what. There was a betrayal, but there wasn't really, because Isis was married to Osiris. Nephthys, for whatever reason, tricked Osiris in the sacred garden and basically slept with him, and that's how she became impregnated with Anubis, right? And Isis didn't hold beef about that. She didn't hold beef, and I'm in the process of speaking to those two sisters at the moment because I'm just interested, man. Why not? Why did that happen? Why did Nephthys want to sleep with Osiris anyway? I don't know. That's a whole nother podcast. But anyway, that was the story. But together they stayed strong. Isis and Nephthys supported Isis. She helped nurse Horus. She helped bring the magic forth to actually, you know, to bring Osiris back online, as it were. And also as well, Isis and Nephthys are known as the sisters of tears or something like that, because they're all about grief and mourning because of their brother, you know, and one was a husband to the sister, but like their brother. So very, very interesting that Nephthys brings this element of like the sister wound, and there's a lot of divine feminine, never mind the masculine, divine feminine shadow. A lot of women bringing other women down, a lot of people flexing and wanting to take other sisters out and all the rest and so forth. That's very, very seeded in a very shady way, and it's gone back lifetimes. It really, really has. So there's no judgment, just awareness on that. But now Isis and Nephthys bring in a level of forgiveness, and that is part of this Pisces moon. Forgive it, wash it away, cleanse, release. And that was a powerful message that Yeshua gave me before I went to Avalon. With all of the drama I was going through, he was just whispering in my ear going, you need to cleanse, you need to forgive, and you need to release. And that's exactly what I did, and I'm better for it. So a lot of forgiveness. Who do you need to forgive? What do you need to forgive? Anything, just to let it go. Okay, just let it go so you can move into your new realm. You can't travel with this. You have to let it go. So maybe the month of September for you is going to be sitting in forgiveness and just allowing that heavy burdens that you've been carrying that aren't even yours, let it go, right? So now completion, we've spoken about that. You know, this is the culminating of the video, and it's also the culminating of the moon. We know full moons are massive when it comes to releasing and letting go. It's a fresh new injection of renewal and purification, right? So now you have the power. Don't forget that you have the power to close on this, right? Now, we have been doing this for so long, and we have cleared and cleared and cleared, and you've had your head down, you're beavering away, and we've been going. Now, all of a sudden, it can be perceived as quite traumatic because everything's gone. You're stripped away everything, so it makes you feel quite bare. But at the same time, are you feeling bare, vulnerable, exposed, not okay, or are you in a place where you've got an absolute blank canvas now and you've trimmed everything back and it's all gone, that which you don't need? And how exciting that you have an absolute brand new place to begin from. Because now what stands between you and the next step is basically your absolute clarity on your purpose, your absolute clarity of your gifts and abilities, and how you want to live in this life. And you know what? I'm taking it away from all of these big ideas of like new age spirituality and all that. It's about eating good food with good people, laughing a lot, enjoying, playing, dancing. You know, I'm celebrating life. Yay, you're born and you're getting reborn again now. You know what I mean? So you have the power. You have the power to say, I'm done. And I really, really do encourage you to now kind of like go with that. And the key is here, there's no action. In fact, inaction is the action, right? Be still, because this transit, everything you worked for, it's like spinning something really fast. Eventually it starts spinning on its own. You don't have to keep cranking it. And that's where you've got to pull yourself back now. I know this is what I'm going through. Sit on your hands, just be quiet, be chill, okay? And just let everything come to you now, because it's happening. There's no way that it was never going to happen. It's happening. So if you get involved in it, do you know what I mean? You're going to mess it up or slow it down. You're going to send yourself two steps back. So with this moon, okay, really sit there and just observe and watch all around you, what's going on, and just watch it come to you and enjoy the moment. You've worked so hard, tirelessly, in fact, to get to this place now. It feels like a muscle memory, but now we have to switch gear. It's like the guilt and everything about being still. Got to also get rid of that, forgive that, let it go. So you can be in this very, very powerful place of presence. Presence is the only way that you're going to pass go. So that is where I'm going to leave this video now. Have an absolute glorious, probably powerful deep dive with this lunar eclipse moon, this full moon. Completion. You did it. So with the power of Nephthys and the guidance of Isis and also the space holding of Set, bringing in all of that chaos. And I suppose Osiris as well, because we are remembering in September. We remember in September. And remember is bringing all your soul parts in. So you can be whole to actually start the journey that you came here to really do, right? Rah, rah for that. And as always, peace, lots of peace in your process. And I will see you on the next video.